This is my second time recording this. The first recording was about 18 minutes. Um, I want to kind of concise that, but I mean, if it gets to 18 minutes, I just want you guys to listen. If you are going to listen to this, consider it a podcast or consider it, something just to sit down and really watch because this is going to be a story. Um, Today is March. I mean, I keep messing that up. Um, it's May 14th. 2019. But 2 years ago, it was the day after my prom. I talk about this story just to spread awareness of drunk driving and driving under the influence, DUIs. I will refer to it in this story, but that's why we're doing it. I made a video like this last year, but every time that it comes around to this point of the year, I want to spread awareness to what has happened. So it's prom, May 13th, 2017. Yesterday now. It's 12:03 a.m. 3 minutes ago it was May 13th. Um, uh, sorry. Um, what was going on at the moment, or what I will start this story with, is the fact that I arrived at prom with my group of friends. We rode in the car together and we were just, having a good time on the way to prom. And I arrived with my date, Katrina. Her and I are still cool. Makes me really happy that we're still friends, despite having, it's such a long time now. Um, yeah, Katrina and I entered the prom venue. Logan was great enough to, I remember now, they were able to reserve the Scottish Rite Center in Oakland. It's right across Lake Merritt. It was very beautiful, very pretty. Three stories, in fact, and it was just beautiful. We got there at, like, I wouldn't say crack of dawn, but it seems right. It was basically golden hour by the time we got there. When Katrina and I entered the prom venue, we both checked in. We got our tickets checked for. We got searched. It was just, the precautionary measure, whatever. We got searched, we entered, and then I'm going to be descriptive here. I have a difficulty with being descriptive with stories. It's not a problem. It's just, I haven't had enough experience telling stories. I just usually visually portray it. Anyways, that's a tangent. As we enter the prom venue, we got checked. We got our tickets. We got our tickets checked. In front of us was this dance hall. It was like four doors entering into a dance hall, and all the four doors were open, and it was where the food was held, and we got there late enough to where there was no more food, and nobody was in that dance hall. It was just lights, and it was just nobody was in it, and all the food is gone. In fact, we were actually late, so I mean, the people that the surplus amount of friends that I knew were already there, so it was just like, oh, cool. Um, on our left was the staircase upward. It was very packed all the time. The staircase was like extremely packed. Everybody was always on it, like going up and down, etc. But Katrina and I, and then a couple friends, we went up the staircase, and then on that floor, I believe, if I'm right, was the photo booth area and everything. It was where you could take your keychain pictures and everything. And yeah, and it was just, it was a nice venue. It was very royal, if I were to explain it. Sorry, I'm not the best at this type of thing. But yeah, that's what happened. And then I believe once, you finish taking pictures, we took our pictures pretty quick. It was the first thing we did. There's You go back to the staircase that you first entered with, and there's another flight of stairs going upwards. And I did mention, or if I did, I can't remember. If I did mention, there's three stories to this building. and we're on the second floor. So leading up to the third floor, we go to the third floor. It wasn't that big, and then there was just this hallway once you enter the third floor, and we walked through the hallway, and then there was an entrance on our left. There was no door, it was just an entrance, and it was wide. I walked through with my date Katrina, and the first person I see was a friend of mine named Shane Marcelino. Um, if you were there, or if you know Shane, or if you saw the pictures, Shane looked beautiful that night. When I first saw her, she was smiling, and in fact, we made eye contact and she smiled at me. And I'm really just happy that happened. But she smiled at me. Her hair was curled. She was with her boyfriend at the time, and she was wearing this lavender dress, if I'm correct. And she looked like she was having fun. Just such a great time. And she unfortunately passed that night. Little did I know that that was going to be the last time I was going to see her. And that's one of the scarier things, like these things happen. Um, but I did mention that this video is to bring awareness to DUIs, drunk driving, just all of that, because it's real and it happens. And I don't want to invalidate anybody. If you've drunk driven before, it's okay. You're safe now. I mean, you're watching this video, right? Just please make sure that after this video, I hope I can persuade you into, hopefully changing your ways or changing anything. But yeah, that was the last time I saw Shane. From what I know about the story, I'm not going to express much just because it's very sensitive, but she was with friends after prom, and um, her mom picked her up, and they were on the way home. And as they were turning in, if I'm told the right story, or if this is what really happened, as they were turning into their um, parking lot, into their house, and into like the area, literally a few moments from their house, they were struck by a speeding car. And the speeding car was driven by somebody who was under the influence. They were intoxicated, and yeah, it's hard. The story never gets easy to tell, but it's something that I see it that I have to do. I have to tell this story. I'm not going to not tell the story just because I want to keep the memory of Shane alive, and I feel like the healthiest form of doing so is by this, because in a way, being able to talk about it and listen to the story of Shane and who she is, just talking about it comfortably in a somewhat positive, atmosphere, it's going to produce, like healthy mourning. It's going to get us through the times. Um, it's just the more we talk about it, of course, the more comfortable we can talk about Shane, who she was, and her accomplishments. And that's something that I don't want to necessarily achieve, but I want us to all be able to be comfortable doing. Talk about why Shane was such a great person, who she was to our community. Um, if I can speak off of memory and everything that I remember about her, she's very active in church. She actually sang for our church. It saddens me, but I will advocate for it because I just know that it's true. She sang for St. Anne's Church in the choir, and apparently she had a very great voice. And that's something I'll always advocate for, because I've always, like I've talked to her, I've conversated with her in our past friendship, but I've probably heard her sing. It's just been so long now, but yeah. She sang for St. Anne's Choir, and I was told that she had such a heavenly and angelic voice, and I don't doubt it. She was a great person. She was just this person to be. She was just this person, like, that was so great to be around. Like, I remember entering school almost every day in the back of the back entrance of James Logan High School, at the 400s, and it saddens me because it's maybe one of my biggest regrets. But I still always remember that, as I walk through the area where there's a bunch of portables, there's this, I would consider an underpass thing. You go under, and then on the left is a gardener, or like, like just, um, yeah, it's a gardener. I don't under. I'm sorry, I'm not the most descriptive, but there's this thing where like it's concrete. I'm sorry, I can't describe it right now, but this is where Shane sat in the morning every morning. And the reason why I mentioned that it's my biggest regret is because I would just, sorry, I'm getting choked up. I would just wave at her. I didn't, I didn't say hi. I didn't like vlog. I didn't just, I didn't do any of that. I just waved at her every morning. I'd smile at her, and there's a moment that I sat right next to her and I just asked her if she was doing okay. And she told me yeah, and she smiled at me, and that was all I needed to hear, because I knew that regardless of what was happening in her life, she was making the most out of it. Um, yeah. Prior to prom, I saw her one last time. It was before prom. It was maybe like 3 to 4 days before prom, and it was weird because it was like a special day for me. At least it was a very special day. Um, it was Logan's art exhibition. It was the first time, and I was a senior, and out of 4 years, it was the first time I was in an elective that actually really exercised my exercised my artistic skill, which was photography. And knowing that the art exhibition was coming up, I had this opportunity to present my art, present what I've been working on in photography. Learn after all that I've learned from my professor, my teacher at the time. I was able to do that, and it was just like this art exhibition was so great because um, it was not only showcasing the very talented and artistic people at our school, but it was also showing like what the school can provide, all the classes that are here and are being represented by this moment, this art exhibition that took place in our performing arts center, the lobby at least. It was just so great. There were videos displayed on a projector full of like video games or animations that people have created. There's this hallway on the left of the entrance at our school with a at the moment it was displayed with a bunch of digital art and paintings, and it was just so great. In the middle there were these we had this stands where we would hang all of the photography done. And if you see this picture right here of Anvo, I displayed that. That was the picture that. Sorry, that was so weird. I was just running out of breath. that that picture is the picture that I displayed at the art show. The art show was just so great. It was a culmination of just all things artistic, and I really enjoyed that because the expression of the mind is a form of art. And the reason why I explain this, the reason why I mention this, the reason why I love the art exhibition is because not only is it just art, it's not just it's not just photos, it's not just videos, it's not just drawings, it's not just the digital art on the wall. They collaborated with so many things, and they were selling just things that the students were making, and or I can't remember. It's been so long now. But one of the collaborations with the art exhibition was band. I think 3 to 4 band. I'm sorry, I don't know the word right now, but 3 to 4 students who were in band were there, and Shane was one of them, and she was playing her flute. And if anybody has ever listened to her playing the flute, it's just so like magnificent. At the time, I really underappreciated it, but instruments are just so beautiful, and for such a beautiful soul to produce such beautiful music through a flute. It was just great to hear. And at the moment, they were taking a break, but um, I bring this up because at the moment they were taking a break, like all the band students, they just kind of like were talking to each other, etc. And I go up to Shane and I have my camera in my hand and I ask her to play something for me. And then she asks me, just anything? And I say, yeah. Like, I mean, I didn't know what to say. I don't know any songs on the flute. I say that as if songs on the flute exist. I mean, they do, but I mean, yeah, I just don't know. Anyways, I ask her to play just anything, and then she says, okay. And then she starts playing. And immediately as she starts playing, I, I grab my camera and I'm about to take this photo of her because that's what I envisioned in my head. That's what I wanted to do. But something stopped me and I just started listening to like her play and it was just so great. Of course, I did get the photo. I think you guys might have seen it. It's one of my favorite photos ever, but it's one of my only photos of Shane that I've ever taken throughout my my years at high school. But yeah, I took this photo of her and just she played the flute. It was just so great. I was just so happy that at least I got that interaction. I got that interaction with her. I was able to talk to her and just really quick, and got a picture of her. And I think that's what matters the most. Yeah, if anything, I'm going to express this now. Please, the purpose and intent for this video is to advocate for the elimination of DUIs and prevent and reduce driving under the influence accidents from ever happening. I just want to say that that there's going to be a situation where you're at a friend's house or you're somewhere and you need to get home, but you're too drunk to do it and you feel confident. And all I can say is that I hope this video plays in your mind to where you don't have to get home yet. Just find a way to either sleep over at somebody's or just find a way to do this safely. Um, if you sleep over at a friend's, make sure that once you get home or once you're able to drive again, you're absolutely sober. Or if anything, call an Uber, pick up your car the next day. Like these hassles, these little things. Oh, I call an Uber, then I have to pick up my car the next day. That's okay because you'll still be alive. You'll still be here with us. Or if anything, you'll prevent a potential accident. And that's just something that I think that's a risk not worth taking. You might be confident enough to drive, you could get yourself home. We all understand that you have this confidence, but that's the alcohol talking. There's going to be a way to create an alternative to this. And yeah, just please do that. If anything, devise a plan. Maybe you can sleep over at a friend's. If you are that friend that is able to offer a place to sleep for a friend that is too intoxicated, please do so. It might be hard because you might live with your parents or whatever. Just please just try to make a way to prevent any of these happening because we lose too much lives due to drunk driving and DUI. I'm not gonna ramble much anymore. Yeah, if anything, that might be the sole. That might be the thesis of this video is to advocate for the elimination of DUIs. But if I can give any other suggestions, please, please, please enjoy the time that you have with your friends. You don't know when the last time you see them will approach you. Um, it's just because it's so unfortunate that we have to live in a world where we're introduced to such great people, and then we grow attached to them, and then suddenly they're not going to be here with us today just because of a simple accident, and it hurts. Um, in terms of my own personal outcome of this whole event, I have just displayed much more love towards my friends. I just feel that there's going to be a time where you can't tell them anymore. I don't know if I can ever tell Shane that I love her, just you know, unconditionally. But what you have right now, with this ability you have right now as you watch this video, is that you can text a friend, you can call a friend, you can call your parents, you can text a friend that you've been wanting to text in a while. They might see it as weird, but at least they know that you love them. Just say that, just the simple thing, the simple expression of, I love you is just going to be able to either make their day, or at least they know that you feel that way. All I'm saying is just make your time with your friends worthy, or worth it at least, like spend as much time with your friends as possible. Um, of course, like I don't hold up to that standard, enjoy your own leisure time, but make sure that, you tell your friends you appreciate them, tell people, spread this love, spread this positivity, because there's going to be a moment where not only can you tell your friends that you love them, but they won't be able to tell you that they love you either. There's going to be a moment where you could possibly be this person. So at least if you are this person that have passed away, unfortunately, your friends know that you love them. Yeah, I started rambling there, but all I can say is just love who you love, because life isn't guaranteed. That is something said by Gloria Carter, if I remember her name correctly. I think it's Jay-Z's mother. I can't remember. I heard it in a song, and it was just something that always rang to me, because you should love who you love, because life isn't guaranteed. Do your best to do that. Okay, that's all for this video. The intent of this video, as I remind you, please do not drink and drive. If you can find any alternative ways to get home safely, or do anything else safely, don't do any reckless moments. Please, prevent anything that could happen, such as that. Um, uh, what else? I also mentioned, like to love who you love. Make sure that your friends know that they mean something to you. Sorry. Just try to be appreciative of your friends. Text them that you love them. Just a small little thing, good morning would even help. Just little things like that. And then yeah, this video is also to spread the memory of Shane. Talk about her today. If you're uncomfortable with talking about it with a friend, talk about it with yourself at a home, or through like some way. Write about her. Her memory is going to live on. That's something that will always happen, because she was such a great person. You know, this is my form of communicating it. I believe that she's watching over me, and I'm not necessarily the most religious, but if you're a friend of Shane's, or if you're even related to her, just know that she's watching over you too. Yeah, but that's been it. Thank you guys for watching and listening. This has been so long. I'm so sorry. It's 24 minutes. I didn't expect to listen, or I mean, I didn't expect to talk for about 24 minutes, but it's just how it went. I don't want to edit this in any way. This is completely uncut, just pure emotion. Yeah, okay. Thank you guys. 100%. If you're watching this and you've been watching me for a while, just thank you for supporting me and just listening to me speak. I didn't necessarily plan this. Please, yeah, just be appreciative today. Something I do on May 14th all the time is just find a way to elevate other people's consciousness, like just do simple, nice, random acts of kindness, because there's a moment where you can't do that anymore. And I think you guys understand that through what I've expressed in this video. So, yeah, thank you for listening just once again. And yeah.